Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and today I'm using the Light Seers Tarot for Friday, July 23rd, 2021. And as usual, I'm going to draw 3 cards with the center card being the theme. And I'm always looking for a message to help us heal our souls, as well as for hope, always for hope and faith, but for help for the day. What do we need to know for this Friday, July 23rd, that will help us on our path? Okay, right there. Ten of Pentacles reversed. And our theme is the Nine of Cups. Beautiful. And flanked by the Five of Cups reversed. Okay, so the Nine of Cups being our theme, of course, is all about fulfillment. Primarily, one of the key words is fulfillment. The wishes, the fulfillment of your wishes, hopes, and dreams. And we can see with this card, I love this deck, look at this treasure. So, to me, the message with this card is we're always going to find fulfillment as we, even if it's challenging, even when we go through challenging times and we don't get what we want, we eventually will find fulfillment through diving in and looking for our buried treasure within. And that's especially true in times of, if we're having any financial difficulties or family difficulties. I feel like there's a combination here of people that are going through challenging times with their elderly relatives or even their younger, their children, no matter what age. Because the Ten of Pentacles can really bring in that challenge of some type of instability, maybe some arguing, maybe some financial failure, maybe even. But this is kind of like sometimes family feuding type of energy when it comes through reversed. Now, in combo with the Nine of Cups, it's like here we are, we just want to be happy, right? We just want to be happy. We want everyone to be happy in our family as well. We want success, we want abundance, and most of all, we want what we want. We want our desires fulfilled. Now, with the Five of Cups reversed, that can have us forgiving and moving on and healing, and the hope returns. So there's a combination going on here. So hold fast to having your wishes fulfilled. But this combination here with these two shows that there is forgiveness or forgiveness that helps us move forward from, I hate using this word, but I just heard the sins of the past. It feels to me like this can be deep healing where we free our hearts and find our buried treasure, our inner treasure, through forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is a tricky thing. Well, not really. It's just, in the mind, it can be tricky. But why I say that is because none of us ever have to forget. Forgiving doesn't mean that we forget. And forgiving doesn't mean that we ever allow anyone to trump all over us. And it doesn't mean that we, always remember how they hurt us and what they were capable of. But forgiving is different. Forgiving means that your heart's big enough, your being is big enough to help your soul get through this. And when it comes to healing our the past from our ancestral wounding, our lineage. This would be generational wounding, where and some of this would be true with even the Six of Cups reversed, but with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, it can be, it can really be opening your heart to the fact that your parents and other family members are the way they are because of the atrocities that they lived through from their grandparents, or from their parents, which is your grandparents, or other family members. Also, to think of what your grandparents may have lived through from your great-grandparents and the era that they incarnated in, and how challenging. Like you can imagine, having a grandparents who lived through the Great Depression, and they imprinted that, that awful. They have really good reason to have this, a belief in the lack of abundance, and because they've imprinted this, this mentality of you have to eat every single piece of food on your plate. And they're very strict, and there's spanking, and there's yelling, and there's all types of control, because that's what they lived through. And then they project it onto their kids, and then it goes down and down and down, through all the generations. But the buck has to stop somewhere. You have to somewhere get into the truth, which is there is infinite abundance in the universe. And yeah, we can go through some really challenging times. And when we do, that teaches us to be resourceful and stick together and save up money for later on, and forgive. And most of all, forgive and move on. So it's much easier to forgive the past if we can put ourselves in their shoes. We can forgive people when we realize how wounded they've been. But that still does not mean that we allow them to, abuse us in any way. Like, we don't take it just because they want to keep dishing it out. And when you do set those strong, healthy boundaries, that does help us to forgive as well. It does help us to move on and find. With the Five of Cups reversed, it's about finding peace. And it's about healing, deep healing. So I think that's all I have to say about this combination here. Let me use this other deck, this Quantum Oracle. Let me draw a couple Oracle cards around this and see what else wants to come through. I feel like there's just a little bit more. Oops, there it is right there. Ah, yeah. That's it, see? That's the thing. Our parents and our grandparents may have these places within where they're, or even our children, where they've lived through terrible things and they're just not very optimistic. But I feel so drawn to like that era of the Great Depression. Because we had the whole, Nazi Germany thing that we were approaching. Like, those kids lived through that as well. Lordy. Great achievement. Yeah, and playing it safe, right? So there's a balance here where we can be optimistic as to everything we can achieve. And this can be sometimes, this great achievement card can be like, you can see the image right on the card, people getting together. And I don't know if that's a little invitation or just a little love note. Oh, it's the menu. I see it. It's menu. Okay. So this can be This can be an achievement. The great achievement within our family can be that we stay optimistic while they're pessimistic. And we understand that they're just coming from a place, because this is a card of intention, that their intention with us can be sometimes just that they want us to be safe. Now, other times it can be that the great achievement, a big event in your life can just be the place where, because we have to remember we were here with this Nine of Cups in the middle before, that the great event in our life can come through when we decide to stop playing it safe and we venture out beyond the fence, the white picket fence of the safety at home. And that's especially true because, this is a card of consciousness. And look at her. I mean, she's at a precipice, ready to step forward. So, yeah. Step forward into having everything that you want. Now, of course, it's okay when you're not feeling that courageous every day, but we will have a huge, huge, huge achievement in our souls when we can forgive, because that's the theme here is forgiveness. What forgiveness releases in our lives. And, if you get really deeply into it, you realize that most of the time you have a little bit of that same consciousness that your parents have, where maybe you play it safe. And so you can understand. You can truly understand. And then in that case, there's really, nothing to forgive, because they really didn't do anything wrong, because they were just coming from their own consciousness. But this one, I think, is about pulling out all the stops and finding fulfillment. Yeah. And we can play it safe sometimes, and we can venture out other times. We can keep coming back to this place where we have a really big achievement inside of ourselves, and that shifts everything. Because, it's always an inside job. The outer will reflect the inner. But when it doesn't, and life isn't perfect, because life on earth never will be, because we're unitive beings living on a dualistic realm or dualistic plane of reality. It's dualistic reality. I don't know if it's the real. No, it's not the real reality. No, the real reality is complete unlimited abundance. But anyway, what I was starting to say is that just don't take it personally when things don't go right. Don't take it personally. It's just the way it is here on planet Earth. But it's not who you truly are. So sometimes when life doesn't mirror back to you what it is that you deserve, don't take it personally. But just keep on keeping on, with what it is that you want to bring in. What it is that you want to experience. I just noticed she has beautiful blue hair. I don't know why I never noticed that before. Wow. Cool. But yeah, so look for your buried treasure. That will always be the way to go. Okay, thanks you guys. Take good care. Bye.